Okay, everybody, if you could please welcome our first evaluator, Julie Nichols.
Chair, fellow speakers and guests, evaluating a target speech entitled Visiting New York. An interesting title, making us think, well, what is it about visiting New York that might be so special? Well, we learnt about the airports to start off with, and there was some good use of gestures in using the fact that there were 3 airports, not just one, something that I didn't know. So I was informed. The topic I thought was suitable for this audience, and it was very well timed. Well done, because that's something that can be very tricky to achieve from personal experience. It was also well structured because the structure of the speech followed the structure of New York as a town or city. There was a good introduction. We knew right from the beginning what we were going to be knowing about New York and how the town was going to be visited and what the idea was behind seeing the town, which this person actually visited. So she had personal experience. The speaker started with a question, which is a good way of engaging the audience. And right at the start, the speaker seemed a little nervous, and asking that question, seeing the reaction from the audience, enabled the speaker to settle down a little bit. This is very helpful and might be a useful tool for the speaker to use in other speeches. There was a good use of gestures, as I said, with the 3 airports, but also the long stretch of land and looking around. So not just using hands, but the whole body. Also very useful. Gestures is not just our hands, but using facial expressions as well. As a suggestion, some hand general movements could be limited or could have been emphasised. I thought there could have been the use of the underground, going under the don't know if it's the river or the sea, the river, to be able to get across onto Manhattan. Or maybe even the flying of the airports. I particularly liked the comparison of New York with Canary Wharf and Central Park with the parks in Cardiff, and also giving the size of the park, because as I'm not from Cardiff, that wouldn't necessarily mean anything. So it was a very good use of explaining that it was 8 times the size, and that just gives an idea of scale. So very good use of comparison in the speech. It helps the audience to be able to imagine it. We're on a journey here, literally and figuratively. And if your audience is with you and can perceive what you are talking about, it really helps to keep that audience rapport. The speaker managed.
I've got to interrupt because the lights aren't working. We're now on green, on yellow. Apologies.
This speaker had a good use of humour when she said that it seemed, because the streets were numbers, that they had run out of street names. That also enabled engagement with the audience. A suggestion: there was some vague use of language, as in 3 or 4, and I didn't go there, and I think it must have been about. this can lose the audience, and so it would be useful to just decide. Speeches don't necessarily have to be completely accurate. So decide on what it is and just say it out. It sounds much more convincing. This also gives an impression that the person is nervous. Overall, I thought it was an interesting speech with a clear beginning, middle and end, with very good timing, and it entertained and informed us. Very well done to the speaker.